Okay, I think my screen is also visible. Can anyone confirm it? Okay, then let's get it started. So we were discussing about the Java constructor. So let us do a small summary. Okay, so when you come across this question, what is a constructor? The answer is a constructor is a block of code which is similar to Java methods. Okay, this one line answer is enough to be given in the interview room. Okay, a constructor is a block of code which is similar to Java methods. Okay, and what are its uses? What are its uses? The constructor is used to initialize the instance variables of a class. So this answer would be sufficient. But the question is, you might get a lot of tricky problems on top of the Java constructors. Lot of tricky problems are expected, especially on Java constructors topic. Okay, so we will understand each and every tricky problem today. I hope you have understood how the constructor is going to initialize the instance variables. So this was the programmatical example. Okay, these are called as instance variables. Why these are called as instance variables? Any variable without non-static keyword, without static keyword. Any variable without static keyword. When you define that variable in the class level scope, means outside the method but inside the class. These variables are part of the class. They are not part of the Java methods, right? Because these variables are defined in a class but outside a method. So the variables which are defined within a class but outside the method, and if the variables are non-static, they are called as what? Instance variables. Okay, the constructors are used to initialize the instance variables. So we have taken a good example, the college admission analogy, right? And I don't think you need much explanation on this. Okay, and this is the we know how to create the process object creation and reference variable, and we know all this. Okay, then we discussed in the last class, especially on I mean Thursday and Wednesday, I think, yeah, Wednesday's class. We also got to know how to modify the toString method. So this was the topic, customized toString method. So why we go for customized toString method? We are tricking the controller. Okay, we are stopping the controller to look for the toString method in the current class, right? So that it will avoid going and executing the toString method in the object class. So for that, what we are doing, we are customizing our own toString method in the current class, so that when you try to print the object reference variables, you get the actual information, meaningful information in the console. Right? Okay. Okay, guys, thank you for joining on time. This is how to. Okay, so today the topic is going to be what? Same topic. We will do some case studies. What are the case studies? I will explain you. Okay, so let me take a small class now. You can expect these questions in the interview room. So please stay focused, everyone. Okay. So the concept of default constructor in Java. Constructor in Java. Okay. So let us assume that this is case one. This case one. Case one. Give me a minute, guys. Okay. Okay, I have a case one. Case one says I have a class. The name of the class is class A. Okay. So the name of the class is class A itself. Let me remove this main method. Okay. So if I ever add to compile this class, the default constructor will always come into the picture. Compiler will ensure that this class is getting modified. Compiler will ensure that this class is getting modified. What compiler is going to do? This is the programmer's code. This is the programmer's code or the developer's code. Okay, developer has designed a code. The code is very simple. Class A and a block. Class A with the class block. Developer has not defined any constructor. Developer is least bother about defining the access modifier of this class. He misses so many things. Compiler will come into picture. Compiler will do the necessary things. What are the necessary things that will be done by the compiler, or what are the necessary things that will be taken care by the compiler? Okay. Class A would remain as class A itself. Okay, and the problem here is there is no access modifier specified by the programmer. So compiler will come into the picture, and compiler will ensure that this class is going to be a default class. First thing. Second thing, it will also make sure that this class is getting extended to what? Object class. Extends object. Why it is going to extend object? Because for every class, object class is called as the superclass or the parent class for every Java class. Why it is called as parent class? For all the basic necessary functionalities for all is already placed in the object class. Every class requires those functionalities to be used in the future. I was explaining in the previous sessions, right? For humans, for animals, all the living beings in the earth, they need to survive. For the survival, they need to have what? The basic things, which are water, air, shelter. So these are the basic things for animals, for humans, for birds, for everything, for every living being. Likewise, for every Java class, all the functionalities, all the basic functionalities are placed in the object class. That's why every class has to get extended to the object class. So this may look like a repetition, but trust me, this is something different. Default class. Now the programmer has not placed any constructor, so compiler is going to place a default constructor. So the constructor that is placed by the compiler is called as what? The default constructor. Okay, how the default constructor is going to be? It is going to, the name of the constructor is going to be same as the class name. Okay, first rule. Second rule says inside default, so default constructor is also going to have a block, right? Inside this block, it is also going to ensure that the super keyword is placed. These two things will be taken care by the compiler. So that's why I have drafted these things in red color. This will be placed by the compiler. What are the things that will be placed by the compiler? The constructor will be placed by the compiler. At the same time, inside this constructor, okay, inside this block, it will ensure that the super keyword is also placed by the compiler. Sorry, the compiler is going to place a super keyword. These things will be taken care by the compiler. The third thing is the constructor needs to get an access modifier. It is going to use the same access modifier that has been used for the class. The class is default, this is also going to be default. The class is public, this is also going to be public. Do you think that class is going to have any other access modifiers apart from default and public? Answer me. Is there any access modifier is possible for class level? We have been discussing these things for a long time. You should answer me. Do you think that is there any other access modifier? Yeah, only public and default is accepted. Apart from these two, no access modifiers are eligible to be placed for the class level. Yes or no? Public and default. If you don't place anything, it is going to be treated as default. I want answers from everyone. Please keep this session interactive. Okay. So see, now let us come to the topic. The concept of default constructor. So default constructor says when default constructor can be defined like when a programmer is not placing any constructor. When a programmer is not placing any constructor, compiler is going to add a default constructor. Compiler is going to add a constructor that is called as what? Default constructor. Very simple, isn't it? What is a default constructor in Java? The answer can be The layman's terminology, if I had to use, the answer can be like this. Whenever the programmer has forgotten to place any constructor construct inside the Java class, the compiler will place a constructor along with the super keyword. This also we should not forget, along with the super keyword. We are blind to see this, but internally these things are being placed by the Java compiler. You don't see this, but internally these things are happening. What is the proof that we are going to discuss now? I will show you the proof for this super keyword and everything. Okay, the compiler will place a constructor along with the super keyword. Okay, and the access modifier would be same as the access modifier of the given class, right? If the class is if you place public as the access modifier, then the public is going to be the access modifier for the constructor. Okay, first point, what is the default constructor? This is called the default constructor. Okay, what is a default constructor in Java? Okay, the answer is very simple. Default constructor states that this is not in Java there is no fixed definitions, there is no universal definitions. Okay, it's up to you. If your information is very clear and very well drafted or understood, then that is okay. You can give your own definitions, no issues. There are no universal definitions for each and every concept in Java. This is definition. And again, the second rule is, and you need to also consider that the default constructors are always no parameterized constructors. What does it really mean? So the compiler is not going to pass any parameters, any data types. You can say any parameters. Compiler is not going to place any parameter. The parameters is going to be empty. Okay. Second point. Okay. Third point is, the compiler will not place any return type, because return type is not applicable for constructors. Okay. So these are the I can say this, you can give this as an answer if you come across this question in the interview. Okay. This will explain, this is talking much about the default constructor. Okay, the next topic is, so this is all about default constructor. All you should remember is these things will be taken care by the compiler if the programmer has forgotten to take in these things. Okay, now the case 2. Case 2, same class. Let me take same class. Okay, this time programmer has placed a constructor. Okay, let me write this in black. Programmer has placed the constructor. Okay, so can you give me what are the changes will be done by the compiler on compilation, before compilation or while compilation? This is the programmer's code, PC. Let me mark it as PC. Programmer has designed this code. It has to go through the compilation stage, yes or no? Compiler has to ensure some things while doing the compilation. What are the things that will be done by the compiler? Default extends object. Good. Do you agree with Chaitanya, everyone? Teja is agreeing. Only default extends super. Yeah, Krishna Prasad is correct. Default extends object and also super keyword will be taken care by the compiler. When you forget to place this, when a compiler is coming, while performing the compilation, while performing the compilation, these things will be taken care by the compiler. And again, the constructor name is going to mean the access modifier of the constructor will be treated as default itself, right? Default A, right? And super keyword will be placed. That's it. Okay. Now the third thing is this is case 2. Okay. Now the case 3. Case 3 is like public class A, okay, and integer A. Okay. Super keyword is also there. The developer has ensured this time that access modifier is placed, constructor is placed, super keyword is also placed inside the constructor. Okay, when you give this for the compilation, when you give this code to the compiler, what are the changes will be happening on top of this code? Answer me. Keep it interactive. Public access modifier to the constructor. Good, Chaitanya. Only public access modifier to the constructor extends object. That's it. Now the default constructor will not come into picture. Making sense? Now the default constructor will not come into. Why? When the default constructor will come into the picture, when the programmer has forgotten to place any constructor, then default constructor will come into the picture. The programmer has already placed a constructor. No matter what how many parameters are there inside the constructor, that is not the case. He has placed the constructor and also he has ensured that the super keyword is also placed. This time compiler will be very happy. So compiler will not add any default constructor, but it will take care of only one thing, which is extending object as well as. And again, let me tell you something. This time, this constructor has been placed by the developer, programmer. Let me repeat. This constructor has been placed by the programmer. Programmer has placed this. It means from the programmer's perspective, it will be treated as default only. From the programmer's perspective, it will be treated as default only. Whenever the compiler is placing, then compiler will look for the access modifier of the class. Let me repeat. When the programmer is placing, it will be treated as default. Okay. But when the compiler is placing, then compiler will try to ensure that the access modifier is matching with the access modifier of the class. In this case, in this example, programmer has not placed any constructor. Now compiler will come into the picture. This default constructor is placed by the compiler. Since this is being placed by the compiler, it will also ensure that the access modifier is same as the access modifier of the class. But this is not the case, right? Programmer has placed. It means programmer is saying that this should be treated as default. Compiler will not involve anything here. This will be remain as default only. Making sense, everyone? Yes, no? Okay. Then, okay. The confusion that you have is, in this case, for example, if I have public, if I have class, if I have class A, if you're not defining any constructor, okay, the compiler will come into the picture. Compiler has to place a default constructor. In this case, compiler will treat the access modifier of the constructor as public now. Public class A extends object. This is the one thing, first thing. Okay. Developer has not placed any constructor, isn't it? So A constructor will be placed. Now the access modifier, when you want to think about the access modifier, it will be public only, because it should be same as the class level access modifier, which is public. When compiler is placing, it will consider this. When compiler is not placing, it will be data default. And super keyword is also. Making sense, everyone? Yes, no? Right? Now, the one more point that you should remember is, okay, that one more point that please be informed that the first statement or the first line or the first instruction of a constructor should be super constructor or this constructor. I will tell you what is it. The first instruction or the first line or the first statement of a Java constructor should be always super keyword or this keyword. Okay, so now I am introducing one more keyword, this keyword. Don't get any tension or any confusion. I will tell you what is this keyword. Okay, so this is the rule. So rule says, so we are good with the rules now. So far we are good with the rules. Okay, if you don't place any constructor will be placed by the compiler. That constructor is called as what? The default constructor. When the default constructor is being placed by the compiler, the access modifier will be treated or will be assumed like similar to the access modifier of the class. Third thing is super keyword will be placed by the compiler. The first line of the instruction or the constructor, first instruction in a constructor should always be the super keyword or this keyword. Okay, now you tell me, having said all this, can you tell me if this code is going to create any trouble during the compilation? I have a class here. Okay, for the class A, I am saying, I am defining a constructor A itself. Okay, I am saying system dot out dot println. Okay, on compilation, will I get any error here? Tell me. Think and tell me. Jyoti and says nothing. Okay, you got my question? If I perform compilation on top of this class A, inside the class A, I have a constructor. Okay, this constructor is defined by the programmer itself. If I run this, do you think that compiler is going to throw any error, or compiler is okay with our code? Consider all the things that I have just said. If I am asking you questions, it means there must be something that you need to think. Think better. Think better. Okay. Do not just come to the conclusion. No error. Okay. Okay. Main method error. Main method error will come during the execution. During the execution, main method error will come. But understand, there are two things that we need to understand. One is compilation. When I talk about compilation, compiler will throw an error. Okay, I'm talking about only the compiler part, not about the execution part. I'm not involving JVM here. Okay, if I compile this, will I get any error or not? That's my question. Why error? If you're saying error, why error? Okay, main method. See guys. People are assuming that, okay, if I run this class, I will get error, right? That's what your assumption is. If I compile this, I will get error. That is not the case. Let me open command prompt. Okay, cd, let me Java Java space Java 3. Okay. So you are telling that if I compile this, I will get error, right? See, if I let me compile this, Java C space a dot Java. Did I get any error here? Compilation is successful, but when I run this code, when I execute this, I will get error. I agree with that. When I execute this, I will get. I'm talking about the compilation only. Okay, my question is, if I define a constructor like this, and inside this constructor, if I keep a statement like this, if I keep the first instruction like this, will I get error or will I get no error? That's my question. First instruction. I want answers from everyone. I think you got my question. Error or no error? Answer me. Why error? Why error, Teja? Answer me. No, guys. So people are look at this code once. Look at this theory once again. I said, please be informed that the first instruction or the first line or the first statement of a Java constructor should always be a super keyword or this keyword. Okay. Is this the case with my Java program? Is the first instruction is a super keyword instruction or this keyword instruction? Right? If I run this, now look at the output. Look at the compilation error. Did not save this. Let me define the main method. In Eclipse editor, it will work. In the command prompt, it will not work. Now you see. Okay. Now you tell me, will I get any error or not? Just think the theory that I have just described. Okay. Go back to the theory. The theory says first instruction or the first line of the first statement of the Java constructor should always be super or this. Having said this, go back here. See, is the first line is the super or the first line of the Java constructor is this? No, not right. If I run this code, don't you think that I will get an error? See, what is the error? Call to the super must be first statement in the constructor. You're getting this point? See, call to the super must be the first statement in the constructor. It means super cannot be in the second line or this cannot be in the second line. I will tell you what is this constructor. This keyword cannot be in the string. It should be, if you are placing this should always occupy the first line, not the second line. You cannot keep like this. That is the rule. Why we cannot keep like this? That is the rule. Why that is the rule? We will understand the flow why that is the rule. First, we must understand what is the rule. Then why that is the rule, that we will understand going forward. Okay. Call to the this must be first statement in the constructor. Understanding or not? Yes, no. everyone? Okay, if you have understood this, you must answer the following questions now. Okay, so this is going to give us an error. Why this is going to give us an error? Because the first instruction inside the constructor should be either this keyword or the super keyword. You cannot have any other instruction. You cannot place that super keyword or this keyword next to the first instruction. Okay, I can say that the first instruction in the Java constructor block should be a super or this, not both, super or this. Okay, if this is violated, you will get an error for this violation. You will get an error. What error? Compilation error. Okay, what the compilation error says, call to this must be in the constructor. If you are using this will be the error. If you are using super, instead of this, super will be replaced. Okay, let's see some more questions. Okay, now you tell me, guys. I have a class A. Okay, so I am saying a constructor. Inside this a constructor, I am placing super keyword. First instruction is super keyword. Second instruction is this keyword. Don't worry about this and super. I will explain you. Just think about the rule and tell me. If I compile this, do I get any compilation error? No. Okay. So for you people, think better. Why think better? See, look at this. The first instruction should, if you are using this should also be in the first place. If you are using super should also in the first place. Okay, if I do this, will I get the compilation error, or will this code get compiled successfully? Error. Do you agree with Jyoti? Yes, everyone. Jyoti is also saying error. Do you agree with them, everyone? Why error? Because why error? We will get error because that's what it said. First line should be super or this. If you go back and see this code, this is placed in the second line. This is also accept. This is not accepted. This is placed in the second line. Okay, the priority for this keyword should also be in the first line, but in the first line you have already placed super. The first line you have already placed super, so that means there is no chance for this keyword to be placed in the second line. If you place this, you will get an error. So since you are getting error, it is not like you can place this together. You cannot overlap this, or you cannot keep super and this next to each other. That is also not possible. The only thing is possible is you can use super, no problem, you can use, or you can use this, but you cannot use both. If you are using super, place the super in the first line. If you are using this, place this in the first line. If you want to use both, no, you cannot use both. You cannot use both, either this or this. Making sense? If you run this code, now you see there will be a bottleneck situation here. Okay, so super keyword I am placing. Okay, so for compilation we don't need the main method. Okay, only for the execution we need main method. Since we are dealing with the errors, I'm not including main method here. Okay, so now let me run this. Okay. It says call to this must be placed in the constructor. Okay, let us listen to the compiler. Compiler says please place this instruction in the first line of the constructor. Okay, I have made the changes according to the compiler. Now I am saving this and again I am running the code. Okay, now it says call to the super must be the first statement in the constructor super. Okay, now it says if I do this, it says keep the super in the first line. Okay, if I do that, it says keep this in the first. What does it really mean? There is a bottleneck situation. It means you cannot use both keywords in a constructor. Yes or no? If you are using, you are allowed to use only this or super. You cannot use both. If you're using any one of these, it should always be placed in the first line. Making sense, everyone? Good, Chaitanya. I think you're able to understand this now, right? Good, good, good. Good, good. These are the some user cases. The question could be like this. Okay, this is the question that you can expect. This is how the question will be drafted. Okay, they ask you if you get the compilation error or something like that. Okay. Okay, now let us see some more problems. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I need answers from you. Okay. Case one. Case one. So let us discuss only about the constructor's perspective. Forget about the access modifier and the extends object. You want to answer me what are the changes that will be done by the compiler? Okay, first case. Case one. I have a class A. Okay, now you tell me. Forget about this access modifier and forget about this extends object. From the with respect to the constructor, what are the changes will be done by the compiler? Tell me, answer me first. This is case one. Okay. No. Okay. Jyoti, good. I need to explain this. Jyoti says super or this keyword. When compiler is coming into the picture, compiler will only consider the super keyword. Okay. Compiler will only place the super keyword. It means class A is going to be class A. Okay, forget about this default class or extends object. Not about that. Constructor A will be placed by the compiler. First instruction will always be super keyword. When the compiler is placing the constructor, from the compiler's perspective, compiler will place only the super keyword. This keyword will not be placed by the compiler at any cost. Let me write that here. Here it is. The compiler will place a constructor along with the super keyword. Compiler will not place this keyword. Okay. Now let us look into the second example. So when I say this in the second example, see, look at the second example, you will get much clarity here. Okay. I have a class A. Class A. So inside this class A, I have a constructor. Here I am placing this keyword. This is the developer's code. Okay. And I have another constructor, but this time this is accepting a parameter which is of integer type. Okay. On compilation, okay, what are the changes that will be that will be placed by the compiler with respect to constructors? Okay, so do you think is there any change for this? Okay, this is the programmer's code, right? This is the programmer's code. The constructor block is good. Okay, and the first line is this keyword, no issues. Compilation will be successful. And again, if you look at the second constructor, it is a parameterized constructor. Okay, but the programmer has forgot to place this keyword or the super keyword, yes or no? Right? So now the compiler will place what? With respect to this constructor, the compiler is going to place the super keyword. Let me change the color. Okay, making sense? Everyone? Good. I mean, a parameterized constructor is going to have the super keyword because yes. Good. Second case. Now the third case. Okay, now class A, and I have a constructor. Okay, I have already placed. I am going to place super keyword. Okay, Now tell me, if I run this code, will I get any compilation error or no compilation error? Now you separate this, I mean each and every block, we need to understand this block, we need to think better here, because this particular block is talking about the constructor block. Okay, is this talking about the constructor block? Tell me first answer this to me. Is this talking about the constructor block? Yes, no? Can we have a return type for a constructor? Can we have a return type for a constructor? Okay, so void has been placed. Can we have a return? No, we cannot have a return type for a constructor. Okay, if you're not having a return type for a constructor, this will be treated as method, right? This block is going to be treated as method. This is not constructor anymore. This is going to be treated as method. The conclusion is, or the idea is, you can have the class name and the method name same. Both can be same. Okay, the name of the class and the name of the method can be same, but it is not recommended. It is not recommended. Even though this is talking about the methods, it is not recommended because the class name is same as the, the method name is same as the class name. You will not get any compilation error. Sir, what is the proof? If you ask me about the proof, let me run this code. Okay, void a. Okay. Now this will be treated as method. This will be treated as method. This will be treated as constructor. Okay. If I run this, I should not get any compilation errors. No compilation error. The code is getting compiled successfully. Okay, but this is not recommended. You get this question, the question can be, do you get compilation error or not? Or the options can be like this: A, compilation error; B is what? Compilation successful. C, runtime. Now you answer me. Think and answer me. Runtime error. D, both B and C. What is the answer for this? What is the answer for this? Come on, guys. Teja says runtime error. Jyoti says D. Very compilation error. Tirumala says, Krishna Prasad says compilation error. Runtime error. A, B. Shant Madhu says B. Okay, so now let me do this. Okay, I have your answers. I will reveal the answer now. Okay, I am not going to reveal the answer. I will run this code and I will let you know. Okay, now focus here, guys. You should think better. Every time you should think better. This is my code. Okay, this is my code. Okay, this is my code. Let me remove all this. Okay, first thing is compilation. Okay, compilation. For the compilation, it is just going to be what? Syntactical errors will be taken care usually for the compilation. Okay, so let me run this code. For the compilation, compiler will come into the picture. Compiler will ensure that this class A is getting a default access scope for the modifier, and this is going to extend to the object class. Okay. Compiler. After compilation, the file has been saved with .java extension. What does it really mean? A.class file will be generated after compilation. If the compilation is successful, after compilation, A.class file has to get generated. Yes or no? So let me open the folder where this project is available. Okay, Java 3. Let me remove all these classes. Okay. So this is our code. Saving this file. Okay. It has been saved with a.java. Okay, let me perform the compilation. Java C space a.java. Okay, so the cursor is just blinking. Okay, when I say cursor is just blinking here, the compilation is successful. What is the other way to find the compilation is successful? You will get to see the .class file. Don't you think that .class file is generated? Yes, it is generated. .class file is generated. Okay, what is the next thing? I need to perform the execution. So if you go back and look at the answers here, the answer clearly says, okay, we have an option. Okay, compilation successful. B is correct. Okay, and there is another option called runtime error. What does it mean? I need to perform the execution as well, right? For the execution, Java space A. For the runtime, don't you think that I will get an error? Main method error. So here I'm involving two things. Compilation, as for the compilation, no issues. Still compilation, no issues. But when I execute this program, when I send this .class file to the JVM, okay, for JVM is going to generate what? JVM is going to consume this .class file. Firstly, it will consume this .class file. Why it will consume this .class file? What was the command that I was giving? Java space A. What does it mean? A.class file will be taken or consumed by the JVM. After consuming, a main thread will get created. Main thread will try to get access to the main method. But inside our class, the programmer has not placed any main method. Do you think that you will get runtime error? If that is the case, if you look and see the options, compilation is successful. Okay, but runtime error we will get. It means BNC is the correct answer, right? Making sense, everyone who has said, who has answered BNC? I mean, answer should be D. Okay, Jyoti, yes, good Jyoti, yes. Are you getting this, everyone? Who has answered B? Krishna Prasad, Madhu. Oh, Chaitanya, I forgot to see your answer. You are also correct, Chaitanya. Good. Teja, you are wrong, Teja. Making sense? Okay, Teja. Okay, so these are the things that you need to take care before answering the question. The question might like look very simple. Okay, so your thinking should be there. Okay, so now we got to understand what is a default method in Java. Okay, for this, to understand this default method, I have explained you this much. Okay, you need to you don't memorize this theory, try to practice some problems. On top of the problems, you can able to draft your own theories. Okay, now next the interesting question is, what is the nature of the this keyword? I was telling you, you know what is a super keyword, what is the uses of the super keyword. I will tell you what is the purpose of this keyword. Okay, let me take this example, guys. If you get logged out of the class, try to rejoin. We have a lot of things to discuss. Only I will take 10 more minutes. That's it. Huh? Okay. Start. Void main string array. Okay, I have a class A and I have two constructors here. Teacher I. Okay. System dot out dot print ln. Okay. Param constructor. This is No OR constructor. Okay, so when I create object for a obj equal to new a, what is the output? I mean, a obj equal to new a. The second object is created for a obj equal to new a. This time I'm passing a value. Okay. Now can you guess the output for this following Java program, for this particular Java program? Okay. So when I ask you to guess a program, you should focus only in the main method. Okay. From the main method, you just imagine the control flow. With the help of pen and paper, you can get the output very easily. Hope you are getting my question, everyone. No or param constructor. Okay. What about others? Do you agree with just agree to Madhu or disagree to Madhu? Thumbs up to Madhu or thumbs down to Madhu? That's it. Okay. No or do the thumbs up and thumb. If you are agreeing, just thumbs up or thumbs down. Response is only no org. Others, what about others? Do a thumbs up, guys. No need to type everything. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Yes, no or. Okay, let me write this for you. Okay, let me run this code. Sorry about the code error. It is a small error. I just need to ensure that the reference variables are not duplicated. Okay. Only spelling mistake error. System.out.println. System.out.println. If you are using online editors, we don't get this. Okay. Compilation successful. No or param constructor. People who have said that no or constructor, just let me explain you the flow. I will explain you the complete flow. Okay. The problem here is, even if you're not placing, see, the compiler will ensure that the constructor is taken care, the class is taken care. Okay, so it will place if something is missing. Okay, what is missing here? Super keyword is missing. Okay, so super keyword will be placed by the compiler. Compiler is going to place a super keyword. You don't see this, but compiler is going to, you need to understand that there is a super keyword here. There is another super keyword here. Compiler is going to place it. Apart from the super keyword, of course, it is going to extend this current class to the object class. Okay, and this current class will be treated as a default class. These are the things that will be taken care of the computer. Okay, if I intentionally, if I'm trying to place this keyword here, can you tell me the output now? Just tell me. If you don't know, I will explain you about this keyword. Okay, so let me explain this for you. Then after this example, I will give you one more example. You can answer for that. Focus here. Importance of this keyword. First, you must understand one thing, guys. Okay, so when I say this, for example, if I have a class A, inside this class. Okay, this class is extending to B. Yes. So let me take two classes here. Class B as well as class A. Okay. I have class B as well as class A. Think about this. The moment I use this keyword inside the class A, the moment I use this keyword inside a constructor inside the class A, okay, this keyword is equivalent to, this is equivalent to what? This, convert this, I mean replace this with the current class name. What is the name of the current class? Current class. This class. What is the name of this class? A. It means this is the current class constructor call. This keyword is representing what? The current class constructor call. When you see this, just wire your mind in such a way that you should replace this keyword or this vocabulary, whatever we call it as, this word with the current class name. What is the name of the current class A? So this should be A. Likewise, when I say super, when you use super, okay, okay, thank you for rejoining. My screen is visible, I think. Huh? Shall we continue? My screen is visible. My screen is visible. Okay, then. See, no, I was saying that the moment you see super keyword or this keyword means just replace this keyword. The statement itself is confusing. Replace this word with the current class name A. Likewise, when the super keyword is used, it means replace the super word. Okay, replace the super word with the parent class name. What does it mean? What is a parent class here? What is a parent class of A? B is a parent class, right? So B. Okay, when you see this, okay, this is how it can be converted or it can be imagined. When you see super, it is actually like you are seeing the super class name. I mean, another example. Okay, class C, okay, class D, extras C. Okay, now you tell me, I'm using this and super inside the class C. So what is the equivalent? What we call it as equivalent conversion with respect to class C. Confused? Let me explain you. I said this is what this is. When I talk this, it means you should replace this keyword with the current class name. C. It is equivalent to C constructor. Calling C constructor. Super. What is super class of C? Every class will extend object class if you are not defining it, right? Super means object C, object class constructor. Okay, this is with respect to C. Now you tell me with respect to D. This and super. Answer me. With respect to D, what is this call or what is a super call? No, no, this is for D and C. Yeah. With respect to D, okay, replace this with a current class D. D constructor call, super call means C is the super class of D class, right? So C constructor. Are you getting this? Everyone? Yes, no? Others? Right? Likewise, one more example. Class A I have, class B I have. Okay, so this super. With respect to class A, what is a this and super call? Answer me, make it quick. With respect to C, what is a this and super call? Sorry, with respect to A, what is it? This call and what is the super call? Answer. A object, right? Correct, Madhu. A call and object call. Okay, so this is equivalent to what? Think about the current class. Okay, we are when you see that this keyword, just think about the current class where this keyword is placed in the class A, right? So A constructor. When you think about super keyword, it is about the parent class. For the class A, for every class, if the extends keyword is not specified, okay, object class is going to be parent class. So object constructor. Right now, you tell me, people who are not answering this, please answer this to me. I cannot proceed further if you are not answering this. This and super code. With respect to class B, what is the this call and what is super call? So who has not answered now? So for Teja, Krishna Prasad, Darshini, Jashwant. Okay, Darshini has some internet issues, that's why it is getting delayed. No, I was asking you with respect to the class B that this call is going to be what? This is part of class B. It means B constructor. Super call for the B is what? Again, B is extending object class. Okay, it should be object constructor. The answer is B constructor and the object constructor. Are you getting this? Okay. Yeah. Now let us look into this code. Okay, let me run this. This is our code. Okay, let me run this and we will see the output. After tracing the output, we will understand this control flow. I'm saving this program. We have only one class. Java C space a.java. The answer is what? No org and param constructor. Okay, now you don't you think that here we have defined only one constructor call, but when you see the output, these two constructors are getting called. Okay, the idea here is this will be your question. You need to find what is the output. In the interview, this could be your question and you need to find what is the output for this program. Okay, it is very simple. The tracing part is really very simple. Okay, please focus here. Okay, so the compiler will compilation, usually compiler will come into the picture. Okay, so typically the file name should be a.java. Why a.java? It should be same as the class name. So class A, that's why a.java. Okay, so compiler will come into the picture. Now compiler will do some changes, yes or no? It will ensure that if the super keyword is not, if the super or this keyword is not placed, compiler will place that. In here, over here, super is missing, so compiler is going to place. The second constructor, this is already placed, so compiler is not going to bother about this constructor. By syntactically, it is correct. This part is done. After while compilation, it will ensure this part is taken care. So after the successful compilation, okay, how do we know that the compilation is successful? Dot class file will be generated. A dot class file will be generated. Okay. After having the dot class file generated, JVM will come into the picture. Yes or no? Right? JVM will come into the picture. Now we are understanding about this keyword, this constructor, this call. Okay. So JVM is going to what? Consume this A dot class file. Okay. A dot class file will be consumed by the JVM, and a main thread will be created. Main thread will get access to what? It will get access to the main method. Okay, so where is the main method exactly? So main method is available. Okay, here we are actually performing one constructor call. Okay, object is getting created. Okay, so to understand the object creation, whenever the new keyword is placed, it means a memory will be allocated in the what? In the RAM. For this memory, there should be an address. The address is what? obj2. In our example, it's obj2. It can be anything. obj2. It is going to allocate memory for all the instance variables, but in our case, there are no instance variables, so it is going to be empty. Okay. Now you look at this slide. Here a constructor call is actually happening. A constructor. What is this? What is this actually? A is calling a constructor which is accepting 100 as an argument. So this control will fetch for the will search for the constructor that is accepting the value 100 in the argument. Okay, so this is the exact constructor that is accepting a value in the parameter. If you look at this, if you look into this constructor parameter, it is accepting an integer value matching. Okay, this will be stored in the memory as in the constructor memory as integer. I mean, I will be 100. This is a constructor call. Okay. After this, the control will go inside the constructor entry. Okay, here we are calling what? This. Now you tell me, this is a call of this constructor. What does it mean? What is the equivalent constructor that I can write here? Tell me, answer it to me, everyone. Okay, this is the constructor call, right? So this is equivalent to what? You're not getting this. A constructor, guys. Good, Chaitanya. Okay, just look at the current class. This means look at the current class. Look at the current class. What is the current class? A itself, right? It is a constructor call of A only. A constructor call. Okay. From here, it will look for the A constructor. A no parameterized constructor. The control will be jumped to here now. Okay. And first instruction inside this is what? Super keyword is there. Super keyword means what is the super keyword here? Okay, super is again nothing but the parent class. Parent class is what? Object class. Object constructor will be called. Okay, from here the control will travel to the object class constructor. Inside that there will be nothing to be displayed in the console. It is going to be empty. Okay, the control will go there and come back just like that. Okay, after coming back here, what is the first instruction that we have here? We will remove this. Okay, no arg is the first instruction after the constructor call. So no arg will be displayed in the console. Okay, from here the control will travel back to the place where it was class. Previously it was sent from this to super to object class, from object to again super to no arg. Okay, from here it has to go back to the place it was previously called. It was sent from here. Again the next instruction is param constructor. So this param constructor will be displayed in the console. That's why we got output as what? No or param constructor. Making sense? Yes, no? Good, Chaitanya. Everyone, are you getting this? Okay, one more example let me give you. This is the last example. Okay, you need to answer this. If you are not answering this, okay, this is the code. Now you give me the output. Okay, this is the code. Take pen and paper. Okay, do the control flow from your end and give me the output. Anyone say something. Character or param constructor? Good. Character or param? Good Chaitanya. What about others? You want me to explain? Teja, Jyoti, S. uh, Character or Shashwant. Okay, let me trace this. People who are not answering, just focus here, okay? Let me run this. If you are getting the right output as you have mentioned, the compilation is successful. Okay, no or param constructor. No, this is what this is the. I did not save it properly. That's why. Char or param constructor. Okay. You said char or param constructor. Char or param constructor. Okay, char or param constructor. Good Jyoti. Char or param constructor. Char or param constructor. Char or param. Why char or param constructor? I will explain. Stay focused. This explanation is going to be very fast. So this is how you get questions. Okay, you think that you may be getting a big problems or data structure queries. No, this is how the questions will be. You will be asked to give the output, guess the output for this question. Okay, while guessing the output, you should focus only in the main method. If you focus the main method, everything will come into the picture. The moment you focus the main method. Okay, the tracing part is going to be interesting. Pay some attention here. Okay, now compiler. Okay, while compilation, it will ensure that a super keyword is placed if it is missed by the programmer. So here super is missing, here also super is missing. Okay. So here it will not place super keyword. Why it will not place super keyword? Already this is there, so no issues. Everything is good so far. Main thread will come into the picture. Main thread will get access to the main method. Okay, what is the constructor called? Forgot about this new keyword. For the new keyword, we know that object is going to get created. Object gets created for the new keyword, and this object is going to get the address as obj2. We know this already. Okay. After this object creation, is a constructor call. We are passing 100. Okay, value 100 is being passed. It will look for a equivalent constructor that is accepting integer as an argument, right? Yes or no? Okay, this is the equivalent constructor that is accepting integer as an argument. So this 100 will be stored inside this variable, I variable. After the storage, okay, it will execute all the instructions in the constructor. The first instruction says this keyword which is accepting an argument again. Okay, when I say this, in your mind, you should look into the current class. What is the name of the current class? Class A itself. Okay, and what is the argument that you are passing? A character we are passing. It will find the constructor A that is accepting character as an argument. Okay, which is the constructor that is accepting character as an argument? This is the constructor. This is the constructor code. So the control will be transferred from here to here, right? And the character A will be stored in this C variable. Okay, and from here, what is the first instruction? Super is the first instruction. Which means when you say super, object class, right? Object constructor will be called. Okay, the control will be what? Sent to the object class constructor. All the instructions in the constructor of object class will get executed. Nothing will be there to be executed, so it will come back again. Okay, from here it will print what? Char arg. Char arg will be displayed in the console. Okay, after this execution, it has to go back to the place it was sent previously, right? Okay, it was sent from where? From here to here, right? So it will go back here. Okay, this is executed, then it will come back. Next instruction is param const. After this execution, it will come back to the place it was sent. It was sent from here. Okay, after this, no lines are there to be executed. Then the main thread will be destroyed. Okay, after this destruction, you see this thing. You see these things in the console. Okay, and the main thread is destroyed. Along with the main thread, this object will also be destroyed. Only you see the things is char arg and param construct in the console. That is what we are seeing. Char arg and param construct. Making sense, everyone? So The purpose of super keyword and this keyword is not yet over. There are some more problems that will be very tricky that we are going to discuss from in tomorrow's class. The day after tomorrow class, I will also explain you about the copy constructor. Very important topic. Copy constructor. Okay. With this you can answer any questions on top of Java constructor. I will assure you.